Hey all, thank you for joining me today. In this video, we're making a Green Ranger Turbo Thunder Cannon, i.e. the engine cannon, designed by me, Mr. Campbell Prince. And as always, if you want to download this model for yourself and print it, you can check out the quotes, my fangs, or my Patreon. And if you don't have a 3D printer, you know, buy the finished product, check out my Etsy store. Links will be in the description below. And now this is the final Turbo Ranger weapon. I've been so excited to build this, been waiting for a while. I know I said in the previous video, depending on what order you're watching this in, that I will show you not only this model but also what it looks like all put together. Unfortunately, I broke the Red Ranger's weapon. I had it somewhere, something fell on it and it cracked it, so I have to reprint that as the time I'm filming this. So I will do a separate video shortly, and when I say shortly, probably next week or so, showcasing how to put it all together. It is very self-explanatory, but I'll still show the video how it goes together and what it looks like in the end. Now, this is one of the biggest prints for the Power Ranger ones. It uses a whopping almost 3 kg of filament, mostly depending on the infill. I did use 10% infill for all of this. I probably would go to 15% just to give a bit more rigidity. And yeah, it's quite straightforward. I'm just showcasing the support removal right now. I'm gonna talk over it because it's support removal. What I will say is throughout the building process of this, I have made amendments. So when you download this file for yourself, I have adjusted the tolerances. As you'll see later on for the video, there'll be some bits which are a bit looser than others, and I just wasn't happy with it. So I have gone ahead and edited the file. So when you download it yourself, there will be tighter tolerances. They will still be needed for some parts, but I have, like I said, tightened tolerances so it's not as wobbly. Obviously, this is meant to be used as a prop. I don't expect to go out and fight in the Power Ranger as the Power Ranger on a day-to-day basis. So, you know, these aren't real, but at the same time, I want it to be sturdy and firm. So yeah, just bear that in mind. This was a wonderful thing to design and build. Honestly, I had such a great time designing this. This was probably the most difficult out of all of them. Just in terms of placement and actual images, it was really hard to find videos, clips, images of this model weapon on the internet. It was, yeah, surprisingly difficult. Unlike the other ones where I could check this website and that, there wasn't many of this. There's only like 2 to 3 images of the same angle, just slightly angle. So if anyone has a clear image and think, it doesn't look exactly like that, do apologize. I did my best with the material I had and memory and watching back the Power Ranger Turbo movie, and yeah, you'd be surprised how little there was of it. But yeah, go into this. So I've designed this to hold the parts. So this is the axles for the wheels, and there's the wheels. The only thing this doesn't contain in itself is the wheels itself, but I designed it to hold the parts. So if you do want to design and print and make this, etc., if you're not planning on creating the turbo ram and you just want to create this, obviously you can glue the piece together. This is, I guess, the windscreen of the turbo ram, and I made a triangle insert so it easily slots into place. Quite straightforward. You pop a bit of glue and you're good to go. And now this is like the side panels where all the mechanical bits is. I was gonna print it all out in silver, but I just thought the contrast of silver on silver on silver was just too much. So I do have a AMS. So I did one quick, I just did the paint material and just did it black. If you want to have it yourself, it's easy to pause the print, choose that layer and choose a different color. I chose to have a contrast of black just so it makes the silver stand out a lot more. Because I'll be honest, this is the second time I printed this part. I did it all in silver and it just looked very bland. Obviously you could paint it, you know, add dirt effects and all that stuff, but if you just want a raw color print, this is what I will do, and this is what I did do. A bit of glue here and there. You can see they fit in specific places. I did originally make each one of these pieces individual, and I thought that's just way too much to print, so just one big thing, and I think it came out pretty good. It looks quite mechanical and technical. There are these little screw nut bits and these little loops just to give it a bit more extra embellishment. And I made little placeholders where you can see where to place them, so it's not confusing at all. Everything will fit in exactly where it needs to be. The only piece you got more freedom to sort of place wherever you want would be like the 2 nut extra bits. These 2 bits here, you can they're not there. You can place them wherever you want. I just place them there because I thought it looked good, if a good space to fill in the space. And while you're here, please like, subscribe, and share the video. It'd be great. Now, this white bit. Now, you can see these 3 holes. They look like pistons, which is great. It looks like an engine, which is, I'm pretty proud of that design. The glue bits. Now, to put together, I created the dowels, square dowels, whatever they're called. You pop them in, you glue them, you put it together. That is it. It's as straightforward as that. I did originally design to do it friction fitted, but because this weighs so much, I didn't want to put too much pressure on it, and left it at that. The green embellishment on the side, it is quite straightforward. You glue, you dab, and you're good to go. Talking of which, while I'm gluing this together, yeah, I have moved on to Power Rangers in Space. Now, this series, I don't know, I got a love-hate with it. I love Lost Galaxy, I love Space. I always mix up Lost Galaxy and Space in my head. I don't know why, but I feel like which Power Ranger was in which. As a Power Ranger fan, I feel pretty bad. I always forget which one. But I looked at the weapons like, oh yes, it was this series, and I absolutely love it. Once again, those will all interconnect. I'm moving forward to making all my Power Ranger props interconnect like they do in the show. Bear with me, there may be a gap between videos because designing this has been an absolute nightmare. Because unlike most of the other Power Ranger weapons and connections, the Red Ranger weapon doesn't connect with them. Surprisingly enough, it's one of the only weapons that doesn't. All the others connect, you know, the colors Power Rangers, but the Red Ranger weapon has its own sort of mold and so forth. So yeah, I am actually trying to make them all connected exactly like I do in the show. So bear with me if the video uploads aren't as consistent as they've been, i.e. every other week. Now putting the side panel in easy, pop a bit of glue and you're good to go. It actually did friction fit, surprisingly, but it's wobbly. It's a bit on edge, so I put a bit of glue in it. Now that's all together. Here is what I was saying about the pistons. So if you're not, don't print this. If you're just going to have the cannon and you're not plan on creating the ram, you don't have to print these axle parts. Just glue the shield / windscreen on top and you're good to go. So if you're our planet, these hold the windscreen in place. Not upside down, of course, but there's holes in the windscreen so it doesn't slide forward, which is great. But yeah, if you are planning on creating a turbo ram, that's where you insert them. If not, just glue it and you're good to go. Now the back piece, once again, this is one of the places where I also tightened the tolerances because this just slides in and out, and I wanted to make it a bit more of a plug so it holds it in place. It fits in there. That's I am just showing you where it fits. It fits in both ways, doesn't matter which angle you put it in. What does matter though is when you get to a minute is where you glue it. So I had to do a quick edit on this. I glued it in and I thought, nope, I meant to glue it on this side where the silver bit is, and this is what holds the caps of the wheel axles, so like the hubcap, so to speak. Pop a bit of glue in there, glue that connector in, and then that should hold it into place. It does hold it, not firmly and permanently, but it does hold it for quite a bit of strength. And then yeah, here's the handle. Now in every video clip I could find of this, the triggers face towards the Ranger and not the other way around, which I found really strange. But yeah, you can alter it any way you want. I made it symmetrical, so if you want to make it face outwards, inwards, it's great. And here's where the caps go in the back. These came out really nice. This does friction fit onto the wheel hub, so if you do want to take it apart and put it together after you make the ram, you can. And this is why I designed it, to make things take apart. This back bit, it does look symmetrical. It is slightly however rectangular, so when you do place it on, please fix the orientation to you see. There will be one way where it looks perfect and one way where it just looks slightly off. Don't use it slightly off because yeah, this isn't it's basically just over a square. It's basically a square but slightly a rectangle. It's a rectangle because not all sides are equal. Anyway, but yeah, just double check that before gluing it on, and that is how you put it together. And yeah, it is almost done. As you can see, this is the engine block, the engine back bit. The cap hubs go inside there. They slot into each one of those 4 holes. You pop on the engine bit and it holds in place. Like I said, I've redone the tolerances because this was just a little bit too loose. As you'll see in a moment, it's a little wibble and wobble. There still will be a wibble and wobble. But yeah, I made it a bit tighter. And if not, you can always add a little touch of Velcro or magnets if you want to hold it in place tighter. That is completely up to you if you're putting it yourself, and it will hold tighter. Same with the shield bit. If you don't like the wobbly side of things, add a magnet, add a little touch of Velcro, and it should be stick in place. Now here's what's in about the handle. As you can see, I put it the way I would hold it with the trigger facing outwards, but it does also fit the other way if you want to keep authenticity, so to speak. And there you go. It is printed, looking shiny, crisp, and beautiful. Thank you so much for sticking around. We're almost hitting 8,000 subscribers. Thank you all for supporting the channel with the Patreon. Every single one of you on the fangs, the Colts. I love it all. And as always, it's time for the wonderful glamour shots. Let's go!